So, you packed that nice bug out bag over there in that corner, right? You're wondering what kind of mess it's going to be when you need it? Well, I've got a whole bunch of common mistakes that have been made for bug out bags, and you can figure out here if there's anything that you really want to fix on it. Not having your needed items. You need to figure out what you need. I cannot tell you what your essentials will be. It's going to depend on your training, your environment, your situation that you're preparing for. Hopefully it's good for anything and everything, but it's also going to depend on you and your environment as well, and your training, and those are going to be different for every single thing. I feel like bug out bags are personal. You're not just, if you bought one right out of a sporting goods store as a ready to go bug out bag, I'm definitely going to go through it, because there's probably a lot of things that you need your clothes to fit you. You need your ability to clean those. If that's a part of your plan, is to walk far enough, you might want to clean those clothes. You need to be able to have that ability. Whatever your essential needed items are, you need to figure out what your needs are and what your plan is and what you think might happen. And watching a bunch of YouTube videos with some of our ideas as far as what could happen is going to be very helpful for that. For helping give yourself ideas on that. The other thing here, I know I say pack your bag heavy, you can always ditch stuff, but there comes a point where it's just ridiculous, where you just can't put it on without hurting yourself. It's fine to have your bug out corner where you're going to put some stuff on there depending on what the situation is. But your core bug out bag should not be so heavy that you just can't effectively put it on. You need to make sure it's reasonable, heavy but reasonable. But when it's just, when it's to that point where it's like, I don't know if I can get out the front door with this, you need to lighten it up. You need to figure out what you can lose and how you can consolidate things, remove redundancies, whatever that be. The bag needs to be adjusted to you. Don't try to adjust your bag for your child or for your spouse on yourself, because their size will be different and it may need readjustment once it's loaded as well. It needs to be adjusted for you. It should be adjusted in such a way, if you've got a duffel bag, it does have like a strap, just a shoulder strap, singular shoulder strap on like a duffel bag. In those cases, I'm going to want to try and bring that up towards like my hip, just over my hip, to where it's kind of riding on my hip and not actually getting me in my in the side of my stomach. I want it to just kind of ride right there on my upper hip. And then for backpacks, I want them to fit. Once I get those backpack straps on, I want that thing to feel like it's almost welded to me. If I have any type of play where it can be wiggling back and forth, that can lead to bruising after hours of walking. That's really not good. You want it to be firm, not so firm that you can't get it on, but you really want it to be stuck to you. You want it to act like glue when it's on you. Really tight fit, but not cutting off your circulation either. It should just be a very comfortable feel. If you put it on, walk around your house with it for an hour, and you don't really, you can forget that it's there if it's light enough, that's really good adjustment. And you can make up for weight or weight not being distributed correctly with a good adjustment to an extent. Now, the bag weight not being distributed correctly, this is especially important if you're bugging out on a bicycle or a motorcycle, if that's a part of your plan. You really want it balanced side to side. Bags such as any type of non-backpack, I would say, that's not a duffel bag, not a backpack, to the center and the base is where you want the heavy stuff. On a duffel bag, you also want some padding items, some of your soft stuff, probably some of your clothing or something like that, in on the side that you're planning on putting up against your body. So that way it's a cushion there. But then your heavier stuff, depending on the size of it, you may want it centered, you may want it front and back to where it can fold a little bit better and hug you. The more it's hugging, the less it can really rip back and forth and create bruising or anything like that there, any type of rub burns or anything like that. The more it can hug, if you can really get it to where it can wrap onto you and hug on your hip, that's the best. And you also do want some padding on the bottom. You don't want breakables on the bottom just in case you have to throw it down, or in the event you fall over on it. In the event it's heavier than you thought and you fall over on it. But packing something underneath it to where it is soft on the bottom does help. But the backpack is the most interesting and can be trickiest to get it right. But when you do, that backpack can almost disappear onto you. I would definitely make sure that there's some soft stuff right up against your back. Water is the best thing for right up against your back, I feel. If you've got a water bladder in there, that's the best thing. The weight, you want to have that. You don't want to have anything hard down on your hips, down on the hip area, wherever your hips are riding. You want to make sure the hard stuff is up above that. But the weight should be right up against your back in such a way, and it should be even balanced side to side on that. Your weight should be balanced side to side. And heavy stuff should be in such a way to where if you lean forward just a little bit, you should be able to balance everything there. That backpack should just about disappear with a little bit of a forward lean. But the weight should be up against you more than anything else in a backpack. And yeah, not having your most important items ready. I think I did a video on this, dealing with best bug out bag packing practices, and making sure your bag is severable also helps. To where you can break apart part of it if you don't need of it, making it kind of severable or modular. But in this case, this is much more important, is to have your key things that you're going to need along that trail, or you're going to need access to quickly, ready. So however you pack your bag, you want to make sure that your protective stuff is right there at the ready. Your first aid is pretty close there. Any communications or trail tools are also easily accessible. Your snack food or water can help you out too. These will help you from needing to have to stop unnecessarily and take off your backpack and figure out how to get it back on just to take a sip of water. If you have a way of grabbing some water while you're moving along the way, grabbing a quick snack, if that's all the reason why you were planning on stopping was just to get yourself a snack, having a granola bar there or something would really help. But make sure that those items are ready. You don't want to have your bear spray at the bottom of your bag when the bear comes charging at you and you're having to try and pull everything out to try and get to your bear spray. That should be out towards the top. If you're cut and bleeding, you don't want to be digging through there getting your blood all over your stuff while you're trying to get to your first aid kit and losing valuable time in the process as well. You want to have that stuff out towards the top. So make sure that you have your most important items ready. Thank you for watching.